Welcome to the Boxing Board. I'm Ade Oladipo, and I'm here to settle once and for all some of the biggest debates in boxing. Who is the best heavyweight of all time?
It'd be hard to look past.
Because he's just a bludgeoner. He'll bludgeon you.
But then when another bully came to him, there was a bit of an issue.
We're on the 12th floor. He said, if I get any more of this nonsense from you, you're going out that window head
He said
first.
it to Sonny.
He said it to Sonny Liston.
No bosh.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the Boxing Board. I am Ade Oladipo. I am your chairman, and we have a wonderful, delectable medley of guests with me today. We have the historian that is Frank Gilfeather, who is literally the man of men, because this man knows everything about the sport of boxing, and he's going to test my knowledge today. This guy has been around for so long, I forgot how long he's been around for. No, look, he's trained with the likes of Sugar Ray Robinson, Ken Buchanan, who's maybe the greatest British boxer of all time, by the way, and he does a lot of stuff on Instagram. So if you don't know Frank Gilfeather, you will today. And as it's heavyweights, we've got to have a heavyweight, and we've got a big boy here. This floor has been reinforced because the Romford Bull is in the building, Mr. Johnny Fisher as well. How are we, gents?
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Great.
Frank.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Frank. Looking sharp.
I'm looking forward. No pressure, by the way, when you're talking about me being a historian.
No.
It's really just because I'm ancient, that's all.
I
remember things.
I didn't want to say that, but this is true, Frank. This is true.
Well,
I'm right at the opposite of the age scale as you, Johnny.
I'm in a bit of trouble here because we do have an encyclopedia of knowledge opposite me, and you, Addy, as well. You've got extensive knowledge, so
I do, but you're the one that's been in the ring, Johnny.
Yeah.
I am.
So
and
you've
I
got
am a
knowledge of
heavyweight.
throwing punches
Yeah.
and taking a couple.
Yeah,
Johnny.
I've taken a few in my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking the big boys, and
Okay.
we're going to talk who sits atop of the heavyweight boxing landscape. And what we've done, we've broken this down into 4 categories. Would have been impossible if we just did that, right? So we've gone the modern era. So we're talking 2000 and up. And you guys know some of the names in the modern era. The great Alexander Usyk, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, Mr. Dr. Steelhammer, Mr. Dr. Iron Fist. And obviously, are we call him a Brit or Canadian, Lennox Lewis?
Yeah.
That debate will be had. We're talking the golden era of the heavyweight division, arguably the greatest era, because it had a certain Muhammad Ali in it. It had a certain Joe Frazier in it. It had George Foreman in it. We're talking Rumble in the Jungle. We're talking Thriller in Manila. And then we had the radio era. That's your era, Frank. That's your kind of era. We're talking Joe Lewis.
No. Let me correct you. The wireless era. Not the radio.
We're talking Rocky Marciano. We're talking Jack Dempsey. We're talking that era. And then we're talking the knockout kings. Johnny mentioned it as well. A heavyweight can put your lights out just like that.
Yeah.
And many heavyweights did. The biggest punchers? Is it Ernie Shavers? Is it Mike Tyson? Is it George Foreman? Is it someone else? So we're going to have that debate. Now, let me give you a full rules and regulations here, gents. Once you mention a name, they're off the table. And some names could intertwine into different debates here, different categories. But once you mention them, that's it. You can't mention them again. So if you mention, I don't know, Vitaly Klitschko as the best heavyweight of the 2000 era, and then when you want to talk about knockouts, you can't use Vitaly. You all get about a minute to debate.
Okay.
Feel free to jump in. And then the producers or those at home will decide who the winner is. Are we ready?
Yes.
I've been waiting to do this all day.
Let's go.
Johnny, I've been told it's you first, sir.
Okay.
So you have the floor. So feel free to pick any category. And then when you do, tell us your fighter.
Right, the category fittingly I'm going for is the modern era.
Ah, shocker.
Shocker. And the name that screams out at me before anyone else is Lennox Lewis.
Okay. All right. There you go. The floor is yours. Why is Lennox Lewis the best fighter in the modern era?
Well, Lennox Lewis, if I was to build a heavyweight, that is the style, the grace that I would use. I would go for him. I also like the fact, yes, he did defeat every man he fought. He's been an undisputed champion. But unlike another man who we could argue could be at the top of it, Usyk, I would say he's come back from defeats and he's avenged them defeats. And that adds another layer of his ability as a professional boxer to come back from defeat and win.
And also, let's not forget as well, Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
So look, we're not really adding what they did as an amateurs, but if we're chucking the amateur accolades
Sure.
in as well,
Yeah.
you're talking Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
And as he said, beat every single man he fought, although he did get chinned a couple of times.
He did. But he
We
came
can't, we
back.
can't forget that.
Yeah.
But he came back.
But he got chinned.
He did.
Johnny, you make some very valid points. However, Usyk, for me, is a master tactician and a master technician. So when he goes in there, and it's the Eastern European amateur background, which has carried him in good stead throughout his professional career. When he goes in there, he's a thinker. I like thinkers in the ring. I don't like robotic fighters, guys who are like boxing by numbers. You know, I like guys who go in there and every round is different and they can break it down as they go. These guys don't need trainers in their corner to tell them. You know, it's a fantastic advantage to have a trainer who can spot the flaws that you have and spot the flaws that your opponent has.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need that. He's just such an excellent boxer in every way. His movement, especially for a big guy, his movement, his ability to see things before his
And
opponent
he is a big
can.
man. He's 6'3". We talk about him like he's a small
Yeah,
heavyweight.
there's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about
He's not
Usyk
small.
where everyone acts like
Yeah.
he's tiny.
No,
So,
he's not.
you know,
6'3".
he's my pick,
Alexander Usyk.
Usyk.
I do love Usyk. Undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight, Olympic gold medalist, European Championship gold medalist, World Championship gold medalist,
Wonderful amateur
Ukrainian
record.
gold medalist. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Has never touched the canvas apart
Formidable.
from that body shot.
And there's another
That's what I was
thing.
about to bring up.
There's another thing I need to add, and I think this is important, especially for younger boxers looking at role models. You know, Usyk is a fabulous role model for young people.
is.
And he knows how to conduct himself. We don't see any of this nonsense that we get from many other fighters.
Name one.
Well, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. I mean, do you remember that? Tyson Fury had an 11-minute rant into Usyk's face at one point before they fought last time.
Yeah.
And I think, do we really need that? Isn't that getting a bit tedious now? I think it's just passé. I think we should get rid of all that nonsense in boxing.
There's
You
a
know,
lot of...
I feel like you guys, I feel like this is very unfair that I'm the last one to go because you've gone Lennox Lewis and you've gone Alexander Usyk. You've probably gone for two guys that might, when it's all said and done, be in the top 5 heavyweights of all time. But as this is a debate, let me debate for a certain Vladimir Klitschko because I like people that come back from adversity. Like, let's be honest, of the two Klitschkos, Vitali's the better.
Yeah.
But Vladimir, when it comes to numbers, way more title
And
defenses.
longevity as
And
well.
longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't beat the man. As soon as he got with Emmanuel Stewart, he was practically unbeatable. I mean, he learned to use that right hand. He learned to throw the jab. And again, he went 10 years undefeated.
Yeah.
Lennox didn't do that.
But you are...
Lennox didn't do that.
But-
And Alexander Usyk's only had 8 heavyweight title fights.
Only.
Only.
But Ade, you're actually arguing for me here as well for Lennox Lewis because your first statement was he came back from adversity. So you're adding something to the flavour to say Lennox Lewis is the main man because Usyk hasn't had to come back from adversity yet.
You know what it is about Lennox, and you know what it is about Vladimir? Lennox had always had the talent. Lennox is just a supreme athlete, supreme boxer. Again, I mentioned the fact he won Olympic gold. Vladimir wasn't that talented. I mean, Vladimir was just good. He was strong. He was big, couldn't move. He learned on the job. He said, you know what? This is what I've got, and we're going to make this into what I've got, the best of what I've got.
And he became a super
And he
champion.
became a super champion.
Yeah.
Became a super champion.
And that's a bit very interesting because, you know, every boxer can't be super talented, super skillful. But if they can take what talent that they do have, shape it in a way to become, well, world champion,
Yeah.
then you can't argue against that. I think
you
it's a
can't.
phenomenal achievement. So he's got to be up there.
He has to
obviously.
be up there. He has to be up there. I mean, again, you don't lose for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. And it's not, 10 years could be, I mean, sometimes you hear these stats and they're like, oh, yeah, he's only fought once in 3 years. No, he fought twice a year for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like 20 title defenses pretty much,
Yeah.
which I think broke the record of Muhammad Ali. Do you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
And everyone likes to say, "Oh, there was no one fighting around the time." You fight them.
No, and I was saying,
There's certainly
and
heavyweights
people
around.
always say like that 2010 that sort of time era wasn't a great time for boxing. Maybe it's just because Klitschko was too good for the
Maybe
rest
they were
of them.
just too dominant.
Well, that's an interesting point because they didn't leave an opening for anybody to come in, really, did they? Because it was the consistency was there for years and years, for a decade.
Yeah.
So how do you get your way in? If you're a young heavyweight in that particular time, at that particular time, and you're looking at these guys thinking, how the devil am I going to get in here at all? You know?
Yeah. They were just, they were, in terms of the modern, and I'm talking about the Klitschko brothers here, in terms
Yeah.
of the modern era, they were just too big and strong for everyone.
Sure.
We hadn't seen 6'5", 6'6" guys that could move and punch like they did. Who would have won, and Usyk still fighting, and Lennox obviously retired, 15 years ago. Who would have won, Usyk or Lennox, at their absolute peak? So what's peak Lennox?
Well, I think we've got to talk
Peak
about...
Lennox Evander?
Peak Lennox.
Well, yeah, but we've also got to talk about the physique thing here. You know, Lennox, just an enormous man.
When he first started off, though, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He was like
No, I know, but
skin and bone, and he grew into it, which is
He grew into it, yeah. But he's still an Olympic champion.
Yeah.
He had that grounding in the amateurs, which I think is key for many people. It should be key, which we don't see now. I mean, we're having guys turning pro in a very early stage of their careers. And so Lennox got the Olympic gold and he carries himself through. He was learning on the job as a pro. And I thought, in the end, I agree with you. I think he's got to be up there with one of the greats, certainly of the modern era, maybe not of all time, but, you know, up there with some of the best in the era that we're discussing right now. I like Lewis.
You like Lewis over Usyk?
No.
You think Usyk does Lewis?
I think Usyk's a quicker thinker. I think Lennox in the end was, you know, a bit. He was a slower. Because he was so big, we don't get many combination punches from big guys. No. Yeah, and
True.
So we get 1-2. Go back to Tyson Fury. We get 1-2 grab, 1-2 hang on, 1-2 wrestle. You know, we don't get 3, 4, 5 punch
And
combinations.
that's what Usyk does.
Usyk does it.
But how can we cast judgment on Usyk? I know he's phenomenal, and it's a thin razor hair argument for me between him and Lennox, but his career hasn't finished yet. So how can we cast a final judgment on everything?
Is it because it's not finished, but I almost feel like we're in bonus time with Usyk.
Yeah.
He's done
Yeah.
what he needed to do. He's been
Yeah.
undisputed twice.
Yes.
Undisputed twice.
That's unbelievable.
He's circling the block. He's now lapping people.
Yeah, and that's I go back to what I said earlier about other heavyweights trying to find an opening. When you've got Usyk, you know, ruling the roost, then you're thinking, well, and what we're doing right now is recycling the heavyweight division in terms of the championships. So we got, what do we talk about? We talk about AJ, we talk about Usyk, talk about Tyson Fury. Now, Thomas coming into the equation, but he's not ready yet. So it will be, it's a terrible thing to say, but it would be a great thing for heavyweight boxing, in my view,
When Usyk
goes
Yeah.
and Fury goes.
The point I'm trying to make is, how can we cast a definitive judgment if the man's career, although how illustrious it has been, we don't actually know what the end career is going to finish like on stats.
Okay.
So
Question.
it's hard to pass
Question.
judgment.
If Usyk's career stopped right now, so there is no fights more, no more 3 or 4 fights. Who's had the better career, Alexander Usyk or Lennox Lewis?
Usyk for me, and we can't. You're saying, you know, it's not
Lennox
finished.
has been undisputed.
Yeah.
In a tougher boxing landscape to become undisputed.
Well, that's a good point.
We have to make a decision, ladies and gentlemen. Who is it? Is it Lennox? Let's be honest. It's not Vladimir. I tried. It's not Vladimir.
No,
It's
I don't even
Lennox
think
or
Vladimir's
Usyk.
the best Klitschko. I think
No,
Vitaly's
it's probably Vitaly. I'm gonna go Usyk.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, Johnny.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Lennox is still my favourite.
Yeah. All right, there you go. First round down. The Modern Era Championship. We've gone Alexander Usyk, but you at home make a decision as well. Who is it? Is it Alexander Usyk? Is it Lennox Lewis? Is it Tyson Fury? Is it Deontay Wilder? I'm just chucking names out there. Could be AJ. Could be anyone. AJ could run the lap again. He could become undisputed.
You can't argue with Usyk as well.
No,
Like,
you can't argue.
You can't.
argue. Frank, your turn to go first. So categories. It could be any. Could be any name as well. But obviously Alexander Usyk Lennox Lewis and Mr. Vladimir Klitschko are off the table. What you going?
So let's deal with the so-called golden era, right?
Yeah.
And even if you're mentioning any era in heavyweight boxing, who jumps out at you? Muhammad Ali.
The greatest.
Why? No. Here's the thing. We're talking about these big guys who are carrying, incredible bulk. And because of that, they're not as quick in terms of the hand speed. Couldn't say that about Muhammad Ali. His hand speed was phenomenal, even for a lighter guy. If you're a middleweight or a welterweight looking at Muhammad Ali, you think, I want to be as quick as him. I want to have great footwork like him. He was a phenomenon in as much as he boxed like a middleweight. He performed like a middleweight. He punched like a middleweight in terms of his speed. And so it wasn't about his big punch, because he didn't have such a big punch. It was about the accumulative effect of his punching. And that's what made him special as a heavyweight, in my view.
Muhammad Ali, you've gone early, Frank. It's going to be difficult, Johnny.
I'm trying to tell my brain that there's a way of arguing against it. I'm just trying to find it. You've got the next pick, man.
Should I go? Okay, yeah. You know what? Larry Holmes had the best jab in boxing. Yeah. And you know this, the jab will take you around the world, they say, right?
Yeah.
Had the best jab in boxing. And let's not forget as well,
jab.
Like prior to fighting Michael Spinks, and it's a fight, by the way, that I think he won, even though the first one was controversial, the second one was a split decision. He was 48-0.
Yeah.
48-0. And I think because he came after Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and George Foreman and before Mike Tyson, he was almost forgotten a little bit.
Exactly. He was unlucky and unfortunate in the way that he was
sandwiched
between them two eras.
Those two. But then you look at the names he beat. James Bone Crusher Smith, Tim Weatherspoon, Cooney, Ali, Spinks, Ernie Shavers, Ken Norton.
Right.
He's knocking all these people out.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think he got disillusioned with the sport after the Michael Spinks defeat. He came back and obviously fought Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson beat him. But there was a period for about 10 years where Larry Holmes could have been, it's the argument about Roy Jones, that if Roy Jones stopped after winning the heavyweight title, would he be the greatest ever? If he stopped before fighting Michael Spinks, we could be talking about the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Power, movement, size, the
most
greatest
important
jab.
Weapon, the jab.
The jab. So look, it could be Ali, but I think it could be Larry Holmes.
Well, that's a good shout.
Thank you.
Except for one thing.
Oh, okay.
You said the greatest jab in boxing.
There we go.
Greatest jab in heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, in heavyweight boxing. In heavyweight boxing.
Right, but Larry Holmes, you're right. Larry Holmes was, he was different. And you mentioned loads of names there. Can you imagine those guys in the modern era today?
Oh.
Right? Yeah. And where would the people, the heavyweights that we've been talking about from the modern era, and let's include Tyson Fury in that, where would they be with the people that you've just mentioned?
I'm going to get you a Tyson Fury hoodie.
The thing that I'm struggling to understand is, or to compute with that, is these men are 200, 210 pounds. So you come up against a Tyson Fury, just from an anatomical physicality perspective.
Good word, that, Johnny.
Anatomical, I'll say it again.
Great word, jeez.
But it's just 50, 60 pounds. You can't argue. That's a lot of weight to be giving away.
Usyk did it.
He has.
Usyk did it to Fury.
But
Remember, that was 220 to 280.
He's still 230, 240 pounds.
Yeah.
These guys are 200, 210 pounds.
Johnny, you're trying to skip around the most important thing here, because you've got the impossible job of finding someone better than Ali and Larry Holmes.
I've found someone who is better. Joe Frazier beat the greatest boxer of all time.
What do you think about it? He did.
He did. So I have found someone who can beat. Yeah. So I've won. Yeah.
Ultimately, it's that simple.
Johnny, you're not allowed to declare yourself a winner.
Well, I can if the logic's there.
No. Logic says he's right. They fought.
Did Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali?
And did Joe Frazier chin Muhammad Ali? And did he beat him?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, then, listen. We're not even arguing who is the best. We know it's Ali. Surely, you've put up a reasonable but not terribly convincing argument for Larry Holmes. but you know, it was a good one.
I don't know how you can get a more definitive argument.
I could argue though as well and say my guy beat Ali.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
My guy beat
So
Ali as well.
Ali is
And
actually the
look, it was Ali in the 80s, and I know Ali shouldn't have even been in the ring. But when they fought in the ring, Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali.
In the
Okay.
70s,
Joe
not the
Fraser.
80s.
Joe Fraser beat Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
My guy beat him in the 70s at the pomp of his powers.
Problem with your guy is that I remember your guy specifically being taken off his feet by
Yeah.
George Foreman twice.
Yeah, and George Foreman is on this list. So
I don't know. I don't know about that.
that was an unbelievable spectacle when I watched
Unbelievable
that back.
spectacle.
Yeah.
Now, look, the answer is, and look, we've had fun, and Joe's that's a great line, by the way. Someone clip that up. My guy beat the greatest of all time. But Muhammad Ali's
We
probably,
must bow.
Muhammad, we all have to bow down
Yeah.
to the king. I was trying to think about Ali's. I always do this, like, because we immediately go to Rumble in the Jungle, we go to Thriller in Manila. But I was thinking of Ali's biggest win. And I still think it, although those wins are glamorized because they were so special, maybe because they were away from America, so they just seemed a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But Sonny Liston, considering
Yeah.
who Sonny Liston was going into that fight, like when we think of sort of Mike Tyson, Sonny Liston was almost the Mike Tyson of the 60s. Someone that was looked after by sort of the mafia.
the mob.
Yeah.
The mob.
Yeah.
And it was just scary.
And that knockout, he's explained it before, Ali, the anchor punch. Is that the one where he sort of twisted his arm over like that? So the technique behind the knockout as well, forgetting all of the stuff outside the ring, who Sonny Liston was, the way he delivered
Liston
that
was
punch.
such an intimidating character.
He was.
And because of his background and because of his size, in that era, you know, he was a big guy. And of course, he had this extra long reach. So his jab was pretty special. Can I tell you Sonny Liston's story?
Go ahead, man.
All right, so he came to Glasgow, or Paisley, which is outside Glasgow. And there was a promoter there called Peter Keenan, who had been a top bantamweight in his day in the 50s. And he was the British, the Commonwealth, and the European bantamweight champion, now a promoter. Keenan was a remarkable man because he was semi-literate, self-educated, and he was a promoter, right? And he was part of the cartel where we had Harry Levine in London, Mike Barrett, and Mickey Duff. Yeah. So he brings Liston over to spar on this show. Walter McGowan, who became the world flyweight champion, was topping the bill. I was McGowan's chief sparring partner for a while. And so what happened was they're in the ring, and they've done the sparring, and he does his famous skipping to the tune of Sweet Georgia Brown. And afterwards, they go to a council estate tower block, 12th floor, to a party. Keenan and Liston and his gang. And they go there, and at one point, now Keenan's 5'5", Liston's a giant. At one point, he looks over to the corner, and he sees Liston arguing with other guests, local guys, you know, and, you know, Glaswegians, they're ferocious.
Yeah,
They've had a few drinks. And he was worried, Keenan was worried something was going to erupt. So he goes over, right? Heights are like this. He goes over to Liston, he says, "Come here. See that window?" he said. "We're on the 12th floor." He said, "If I get any more of this nonsense from you, you're going out that window head
He
first."
said it to Sonny.
He said it to Sonny Liston. Liston thought this was fantastic.
Yeah.
He's roaring and laughing, and he loved the Scottish people and the Glasgow people because of that.
Yeah.
You know, because of that thing, right? He had the nerve, this 5'5"
They don't
informer
care.
bantamweight to challenge him and say, "You're going out the window." That was Sonny Liston.
Oh, that's a good story, that is. Because, you know, it's funny because you always hear the negative stories around Sonny. So I always
Yeah.
feel like it's nice to hear the good stories about him as
yeah.
well. Now, I think it's fair to say that the winner of that one is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Frank's pulling
Muhammad
away.
Ali. All right, I'm going to go Knockout King.
Knockout King.
Knockout King. And I am going to go for Big George Foreman.
Oh, wow.
You know, I say Big George Foreman, yeah, and I think George Foreman, everyone thinks of him as being able to knock people out because he was a lot bigger than everyone else, and he was big.
Yeah.
Go and look at the weights, if you can, if you've got a minute of your time, go and look at the weights for George Foreman versus Joe Fraser. Joe Fraser, 214 pounds. George Foreman, 217.
Yeah.
Now,
Was
what?
it?
217.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at, he wasn't this big bully that just bullied everyone because of his size. He knocked you out because he had something special in that right hand. It was almost like a forehammer. In my time of watching boxing, not as long as you, Frank, maybe a bit longer than you, Johnny, I haven't seen anyone hit someone and they come off the floor. Unless you're watching Rocky IV, Ivan Drago versus Rocky Balboa, then that was there. When he hit Joe Frazier came off the floor.
Yeah.
He skipped. I haven't seen anything like that in my life
No,
before.
that was.
I haven't seen anything like that. Go and watch his fight against Ron Lyle.
Oh, it's a great fight.
Two absolute punches.
like a cartoon fight.
It's a cartoon fight.
Yeah.
I got fight of the year. I think I might have got fight of the year. I was going to say fight of the
Credit
decade.
to
Fight
Ron
of the
Lyle
year.
in that fight.
Ron Lyle was giving everything, throwing it all at him. Kitchen sink. George Foreman
I've never
said,
seen anything
"Take
like
that."
it. Yeah.
Michael Moore, who was unbeaten at the time George Foreman fought him. George Foreman is getting pieced up. I mean, he's getting lit up. He landed one from absolute nowhere. Done. The referee could have counted to 100 seconds. No point in counting to 10. George Foreman, I believe, is the hardest hitting heavyweight, maybe the hardest puncher we've ever seen. I've won the round.
I'm not sure.
Go on, John.
Go on, Johnny.
I am vouching for Ernie Shavers. One, because the greatest of all time has said he's the hardest puncher, but also
Yes.
92% KO ratio.
That's a joke, isn't
What's George Foreman's KO ratio?
Don't know.
Because we have to be statistically astute.
We
here.
do, but if we were doing it by stats, then we might as well have Wilder in there as well,
Could
who
get
I
Wilder.
believe's got like a 97% KO ratio
Well,
for
yeah.
the fights won.
You have to. Surely he should be
Maybe
in this list.
does deserve
Yeah.
consideration.
He does. He must do.
It's who George Foreman was knocking out and how he was knocking them out that puts him higher for me. But I have no issue with Ernie Shavers being in this debate whatsoever. Ernie Shavers could crack.
And it's interesting that, and this is, we're going to get flack if we don't mention Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He's got an unbelievable fan base still.
I think they were knocked out before they hit the floor with Mike. I feel like they were knocked out before they entered the ring. It's almost like, oh, hit me, I'm gone.
Yeah, you think so?
Some of the people were so frightened. I feel like
Well,
I'm just going to
but-
go to sleep here.
I've said, Tyson was pretty special.
Could have been the greatest ever,
He could have been.
Could have been.
And what's amazing about him, he was only 5'10", he's only 5'10" and a half. And he had to develop a style which allowed him to get into the positions to knock out guys. And he did it for a long, long time until they discovered the uppercut.
I almost felt like Mike was a bully, not his own fault, just because of his demeanour.
Yeah.
But then when another bully came to him, there was a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Almost like the bully in the playground. Finally, someone steps up to him, and all of a sudden, that bully
Do you
thing's
remember
gone.
his fight with Mitch Green? Because they had a bit of back and forth, didn't they?
They did.
Outside of the ring.
Oh,
That
yes.
was that was a great fight
Yeah.
as well.
Even the Donovan Razor Ruddock fights, which were just damaging, where they're just kicking the you-know-what out of each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've gone George Foreman. Johnny's gone Ernie Shavers.
I was thinking with Tyson.
Yeah,
Michael.
Mike. I'm going with George Foreman.
So who
You're going
judges
Ernie
this round then?
Shavers.
If you're
People at home, or the producer. Go on. By the way, I've not won a round yet, so it'd be nice.
Neither have I.
It's George. It's clearly George.
I think it's Big George.
There you go, Big George.
I'm the only one who's on nil.
Big George. Johnny, we've mentioned some big names here, some big punches as well. I mean, look at the names that we've mentioned so far. Show's not over yet, gents. I mean, Ali, we've mentioned Fraser, we've mentioned Foreman, Tyson, Wilder, Usyk, Lennox. If you were opposite any of those, like say you're in the ring, you made your way to the ring, can I paint the picture for you? You made your way to the ring, your dad's with you, your trainer's with you.
Yep.
And that person's music comes on. Who are you thinking, it can't be that person? Now, who's the last person you want to see walk into the ring?
It's between two, I think. I'm all going to think, I'm going to be looking at my dad going, bloody hell, he's put me up for one here, isn't he? But everyone's hard. But the two that stick out to me from just an aura perspective, Mike Tyson, but also for me, I think George Foreman.
Yeah.
Because he's just a bludgeoner. He'll bludgeon you. You're not going to get knocked out cold. You're going to get them delayed reaction. I think of the phrase of hops and skips, as you said. You're going to get bludgeoned. So that's not a very nice feeling.
It's
That's
scary.
true. However, Mike Tyson would do it quicker, and he'd put you to sleep earlier. And
Yeah,
he'd
so
put you
that's
out your
probably why
misery
I'd rather
early.
Tyson than
And
Foreman.
Tyson is
out your
relentless.
misery.
Yeah, I'll be out a bit quicker.
Mike Tyson was. Can you imagine saying, "Please, could you just calm down for a few
At least it'll
seconds?"
be over quick though, Frank.
He
With,
doesn't-
with Foreman, I'll probably see it all coming, but it's like it's just the volume of it and the bludgeoning and the unstoppable force coming
Yeah.
forward.
You'd be
That's a bit
mesmerised by-
unpleasant.
yeah.
Yeah,
to
with
say the
Mike
least.
as well. It's like Foreman. Foreman's a nice guy.
Yes.
Foreman's was a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just a nice guy.
Not in his early days. he
Not in his
wasn't.
early days.
Yeah.
Early days a bit naughty.
Yeah.
But Mike was just a scary individual.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you imagine waiting for someone to walk to the ring with no robe.
Yeah.
And that means basically I'm just coming to fight. Forget
Yeah.
all the fantasy, forget all the nonsense. I
Yeah.
just want to fight you.
So you agree it's nonsense? All that stuff.
It's a bit nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sometimes?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Although I do like, there's some ring walk music I do like. I do
Country
like.
road.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there you go. Johnny's music. Kel Brook, all of the lights.
Yeah.
We should have a show
There's
on that,
some
by the
great
way.
ring walk. I think having a simple song or like one song and just walk into the ring, I think that's as good as any of these shows and all the fireworks going off.
Oh, yeah,
Get
I
to
agree.
the ring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, like Bivol walk into the ring, no messing about.
Yep.
Got in the ring.
Yeah.
And you're there for the boxing.
Okay, so the scores are, not that I'm counting, but Frank 2, Ade 1, Johnny.
Yet to get off the mark.
All right, this is your round, John. It's the last one.
Oh, is it?
It's the last one. And there's only one category left.
Yeah, the radio era.
radio
We've saved the
era.
best till last, really. I mean, you've got some iconic names
you
in
got
it.
some
Joe
iconic
Lewis,
names.
World War II legend,
Yeah.
Jack Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Iconic.
Yes, sir.
But for me, it's got to be Rocky Marciano for me. 49-0. We can have our debates about who he did fight, who he didn't fight. But a record of 49-0.
Yeah.
5'11". I mean, that's a very 185 to 190 pounds. What weight would that be now? Is that
Just
cruiser?
above light heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
just
talk
about.
about cruiser, yeah.
I've just got an admiration for Rocky Marciano. I punched his bag when I was in Vegas. They still had his bag hanging up in one of the gyms there. His training regime was immense.
It was.
Swimming
Yeah.
across a lake and running, just constant. And the ferociousness and the relentlessness of the man. And whatever you say, he's finished his career as 49-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finished his career unbeaten. I mean, you can't better that. Some of the results were a bit-
88%
some of the
knockout
results were a
ratio.
bit- That's quite scary for someone, as you said, that was 185 pounds and 5'11" at most.
At most 5'10" and a half, I've got to be accurate here. And the other thing too is, Johnny, he had the very short reach.
Yeah.
And so he had to adapt.
It's impressive.
Talk about having a good chin. All right, so we're talking about the radio era here, the wireless era. For me, that was the first fight I listened to on the radio.
Which one?
Marciano against Don Cockle, who was the British heavyweight champion. Now, Don Cockle, if you look at him now, if you see the fight now, you think, wow, this guy was flabby. He was very flabby. But he was the most courageous guy you've ever seen. Marciano, I think it was the 6th round it ended. Marciano pummeled him for 6 rounds. And Cockle kept coming back again and again. The referee eventually stopped, or he was knocked out, can't remember. But it was the first fight. I'd probably be about 7 or 8, and it was on at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said to my dad, can I get to listen to this on the radio? And he reluctantly agreed. And it was the excitement of it.
There's something special about
Yeah,
we're
radio.
almost spoiled, aren't we?
We are.
That with all the build up, and you got a presser and a weigh in and a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Just to turn on the radio and oh, here we are,
And
Joe
there's
Lewis.
a bit more of a thrill in that as well because it's not as available.
Yes.
Everything's so available
It's
to us.
too
Not
much
just
now, isn't it?
not just boxing.
Too
Everything.
much.
But the great thing about it was the radio allowed you to use your imagination.
Yeah.
So you've got you in your mind. You're thinking about the arena. You're thinking about the announcer. Announcing.
You're more engaged in that one.
Yeah, and you are. And you're thinking about the commentaries have to be really good. Unfortunately, there's some commentaries today on TV that are unsuitable. They should be on radio because it's non-stop talking. Let the fight breathe. Let's watch it. Let's make your comments by all means in the commentary. But the radio commentaries in those days were fantastic.
I think this obviously I do a bit of radio work, and I do think just radio allows you to paint the picture that you create yourself. So everyone that watches it would have their own vision of what it looks like because it kind of just takes you to your own space. Sure. Rocky Marciano was fantastic. Great choice. Well done, Johnny. But you are going to lose this round again because the only answer really is Joe Lewis.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest, Joe Lewis.
We're both in agreement.
Joe
as
Lewis
well.
was just fantastic. And I know you're probably going to say, yeah, but Rocky Marciano chinned Joe Lewis. And yeah, he did beat him. But Joe Lewis had retired and came back.
Yeah.
Joe Lewis was like, literally, he was, I think, America's first boxing superstar.
Yeah.
He was almost Mr. America because he was fighting for more than boxing
Yes.
at the time. Obviously, we were in a crazy time, wars all over the world, and those fights with Max Schmeling were nothing can compare in boxing today. Nothing. Joe Louis went to go and see the president before fighting Max Schmeling. He was like, basically, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And when Max Schmeling won the first one, it was almost like for the Nazis, it was almost like, there you go. We are victorious against the Americans. Yeah. Joe Louis, though, when you look at just his boxing record, 25 title defenses, that's probably never going to get beaten in the heavyweight division. It's just outstanding. And he just had everything as a boxer.
Yeah.
Honestly, just a beautiful boxer, just phenomenal. Only lost to Max Schmeling, the great Rocky Marciano, and Ezra Charles. An incredible boxer. The answer is Joe Louis.
I agree. He would be my pick. Am I allowed to do that?
No, you could. Well, not really, but if you want to, so it means I win the round.
Well, I don't mind.
Well,
I'll beat you next time. Because Joe Louis technically was an artist. He was beautiful to watch. The punching was short. His cross, which I go on about in my videos all the time, it was so succinct. It was short. It was fast. It was clinical. And the same with his left hook. And that's why he had so many knockouts. The timing was just beautiful. So I can't look past Joe Louis. Marciano comes a close second for me in the radio era. And if you look at the other contenders, if you like, Dempsey and all these Jack Johnson and so on, I mean, that was so far back. And when you look at videos of those guys now,
it looks like a different sport.
It does.
Yeah, it looks like a different sport. Whereas when I look at Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano, you know, like you say, eras can't compete with eras. I look at those two and I say you could chuck them in any era.
Yeah.
With the way in which they fought. And by the way, I mean, look at the rounds they're doing.
Yeah.
So we spoke about fitness earlier on. I mean, the rounds that these guys are doing is incredible. Some of them are beyond 15 rounds.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's incredible.
I
But
just don't know what I've got to do to get a point here, though, because I've picked in 2 rounds people that have beat other people, and apparently I've not won either one. Rocky Marciano beat Joe Louis, and who was the other one?
Yeah.
Joe Frazier beat
Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
So has it got any weight?
You've been thinking hard about this, John.
Yeah.
You've been going through your
I
notes.
had the perfect counter argument there, but no.
No, but
Joe Louis was a legend.
you know, you were speaking a bit earlier about role models, and you mentioned Alexander Usyk. By the way, fantastic role model. On Joe Louis, there was a famous writer, Jimmy Cannon, who wrote that Joe Louis was a credit to his race, which would ultimately make you think he's talking about the black race.
Yeah.
But he said the human race.
That's powerful.
So just to confirm, on this pre-60s radio era, you went with Rocky Marciano, which was a good one. I think you went early. I think you went early. I went Joe Louis, and you went Joe Louis with me, Frank.
I did.
It's not really a debate. It's not part of the show, but
No, I know. It's but you know when
But
you
there's
have
no point trying to make a debate if there's no debate.
No, well, exactly. I was going to say that if you've got people who are outstanding, you know, and why throw in another name just for the sake of it? Joe Louis, you know, Joe Louis is remarkable. Remarkable.
I was perhaps hasty because when you have an affection or a soft spot for a particular fighter, that's probably.
No. I don't
crowded
think
my
there's
judgment.
anything wrong with Rocky
Rocky Marciano's a legend, yeah.
The fact is, you're a heavyweight that was unbeaten. Do you know? I mean, 49-0, 49-0.
Take all that out of the equation,
Who's
and
just a better
you
boxer?
look at his technical ability, his punching power, and his delivery of punch was fantastic. I always hold him up as a kind of prime example of how to throw the cross. Joe Louis.
I've seen your videos on it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Gets me into trouble, mind you, because the younger generation say,
taught to throw it in
what
the same
about
way.
Mike Tyson? What about Tyson Fury? I think, well, no comparison. We're talking about Joe Louis here, talking about Rocky Marciano. These guys were special.
Yeah, special indeed. So just to confirm, because I chose him first, I win the point. So it's 2-2. 0, Johnny, 0.
No bosh.
Unlucky, Johnny.
Unlucky. You win some, you lose some, and today I've lost.
Of the names that we've spoken about, and look, we've touched on some incredible names here because, again, as I said at the top, I think the heavyweight division is the division when it comes to boxing. Maybe not. I know, Frank, that there are pure boxers that are in the lower weight classes. Who is the best heavyweight of all time?
It would be hard to look past Muhammad Ali. But there are other contenders. obviously, but I can't see past.
I'm the same. I think for the whole package,
Yes.
not just in the ring, everything that he done, sportsman of the century, the civil rights side of it as well. If we're thinking of a heavyweight boxer, they transcend the sport. They are the man. So the heavyweight champion of the world, and who encapsulates that better than Muhammad Ali? Not just looking purely at boxing. I'm talking about the character of the man. The heavyweight champion of the world is a prestigious accolade to hold. So
Is it still that? Is it still that? You're right.
think so.
I've always felt like it was that. Like when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you are on top of every single sports person. I always felt like you are
The man.
almost godlike. You're the man, right? Does it still have that weight?
No. I don't know if you agree with this, Johnny, but I don't think it has the same cachet as it did in Muhammad Ali's time and before him.
Maybe
because
Even after, I thought in the 80s, I felt it did. Like Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, right? That was
But I mean, I don't. This is hard to say because I don't know if the following is there. Life has changed so much. You know, we spoke about the radio era and how people engaged with boxing through listening to it on the radio, reading Ring magazine, boxing news. Couldn't get enough of it. Even the amateur shows. When I was boxing for Scotland, it would. You know, I boxed in the Albert Hall with 7,000 people there. England against Scotland twice, and the same. You know, in the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, 5,000 people. You think that wouldn't happen now? It doesn't happen now.
I think human attitude and technology has changed the way that we view sport and things like that. There's so much choice and availability out there. Perhaps that has changed it a little bit. There's less to be revered because everything's so available.
Yeah.
And the heavyweight champion of the world, back then, I can feel it in myself. I wasn't even alive before the 90s, and I can feel that when I talk to the elder generation or people that are 10, 20, 30 years older than me. It does feel like it had a different feel when I think about it.
You're right. It carried because I wasn't alive when Muhammad Ali fought.
Why are you looking at me like
No.
You're our elder statesman.
You can tell us the
We
stories,
bow
Frank.
to you, yeah.
All right, producer Tom. The scores are Frank 2, Ade 2, Johnny 0. We don't have draws in this show. We don't have any fence sitting. We don't do this. Who won? Who are you picking?
Come on, Tom.
Frank's got Usyk and Ali. That is as a combination. That is.
So you got Usyk and Ali. I've got Foreman and Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
I think you win, Frank. I think you win.
So what you're telling me? Gold, silver, Johnny.
Bronze.
Okay.
Bronze. No, Johnny's from a rugby background, so it's the wooden spoon.
Yes, the
Oh,
wooden
yeah,
spoon.
fair enough.
Yeah. We won't talk about it anymore.
It's the wooden spoon.
Yeah. I've accepted my defeat. I'll lick my wounds and go off. But losing to Frank, we can take that, Addy.
We can take that. Don't put me and you together.
Yeah, me and you, we're together now. We're losers. Yeah.
There you go, guys. This one was a special one because the heavyweights for me is like, again, we've all been brought up on heavyweights, right? I was brought up on Mike Tyson. Frank was brought up on Jack Johnson. And Johnny, more
get
up
to
to
see
date
them
on
all.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Please, Johnny, stick up for
Frank,
me.
I don't need you to stick up for you. You can handle it yourself.
You can
I've
handle
seen
it.
you on the back.
I've seen the hands, I've seen the hands. But look, no, that was a fantastic debate. We mentioned so many special names in the heavyweight division, going from the 1920s up to modern times. And it really is the glamour division. Frank won the debate, according to our producer Tom. Still not convinced about that. Let us know who you think were the champion choices for today's categories. Let us know in the comment section below and cast your vote as well. Your vote does count, trust me. And we're going to use it to compile our ultimate Boxing Board Hall of Fame. Remember, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in another episode of the Boxing Board very, very soon.